If you were given a budget of $100 and wanted to buy a Nintendo Gamecube, controllers, and some games, what would you buy? Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here bringing you a $100 buyer's guide for the Nintendo Gamecube. This will be a multi-part series. I already did some entries into the Nintendo 64 buyer's guide and the Super Nintendo buyer's guide, so be sure to check those out as well. Before I start this actual buyer's guide, I want to mention my giveaway for this week. This is a copy of Twilight Princess for the Wii. Does not have the manual though. To enter this giveaway, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, and please comment below what would you buy with the buyer's guide of $100. What would you be looking for? But you have to buy a console itself as well. In order to find these prices for this buyer's guide, I'm using US dollars, just to be clear and straightforward. I'm not including any shipping or import fees, or taxes of course, because usually you can buy these things locally. And in order to find the prices, I looked at eBay's completed auctions, and all of those basically being auctions go for less usually than buy it now, and I took the average price of those. So first things first, you're going to need to buy a console. There's a lot of different color variations out there. I'm not getting a console with the instructions and with the box or anything like that, especially with $100. This is just to get you going with a taste of the Nintendo Gamecube. So I would recommend that you buy the console. Of course, you're going to need the power cord, and you're also going to need the cables to connect it to the TV, the AV cables, and I would also recommend that you get this memory card. You can get an official one or a second-party one or third-party one. It doesn't really matter. So as well as those, I think you should also pick up 2 controllers. Try and get them official if you can. So there's a silver one, or platinum silver, and the spice orange one, just what I have here to kind of show off. So this price point of all of that, I think you can find in a bundle for $40. $40 is a fair price point. Back about 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I think a GameCube with a controller was about $20, so it has doubled in price. But for $40, you should definitely be able to find this. Whether you're looking online or locally, I think that's a really fair deal. I'm just going to move these cords because they look a little strange, just because they're all over the place, but I'm going to keep the controllers just right back there. Alright, so now let's get to our games. I have 5 games for you. Our $40 budget so far is gone. We have $60 left. The first game I would recommend is actually a launch title, and that is Luigi's Mansion. The price point I put on this is $20 US. It's our most expensive game actually this time around. This is a player's choice version. Sometimes they go for a little bit less. I don't like player's choice versions, it just happens to be the one I have. So this is a launch title for the game, for the system, as I said. This is essentially where Mario goes missing. Professor Egad kind of gives you this Poltergeist 3000 for you to use to clean up this mansion of all the ghosts. It has a Metacritic rating of 78. Hopefully you can get this actually with the case, the instructions, and the disc at $20, so that is $60 of our budget spent so far. The next game up is actually our next most expensive game. I'm moving from most expensive to least expensive. So $60 gone. The next one is Animal Crossing. Again, a player's choice version just because that's what I own right now. And this game is a community simulation game. It's open-ended gameplay. You can go fishing, you can kind of farm a little bit, you can do a lot of different things in the game with the different villagers. It has a really neat, unique, in-item, like in-game kind of clock and calendar that really makes it feel like a realistic adventure and a real-life game. So this one actually has a rating of 87. Hopefully, again, you can get the case and the instructions. So that is our total now at $77. We have $23 left to spend. 3 more games. The next game is one of the best games of the generation that the GameCube had. Definitely one of the best games on the GameCube, I think, but it was multi-platform. This is Resident Evil 4, made by Capcom. This is a survival horror third-person shooter game, and basically the rating is 96. It's a very, very highly praised game, but because it was out on so many consoles, the actual value of this, I'm putting at just $8. You should be able to pick this up for $8 complete. It's a complete steal, actually, considering how good of a game it is at that price. So that's $85 spent. We have $15 left on our budget. The next game up was also a launch title. This one only has a value of $8. This is Super Monkey Ball, giving you a nice wide variety of games actually in this first buyer's guide. So Super Monkey Ball, I put a price point, $8 as well. It was an arcade platformer by Sega. Basically, you don't move the characters themselves, you kind of move the entire world by tilting them around as they ride in these balls, which is actually really quite interesting in terms of a gameplay dynamic. This one has a total Metacritic score of 87. Again, you should be able to get the case and the instructions with this one for just $8. So our total now is at $93. We've got about $7 left to spend in our budget. This game is something that I remember playing on Christmas Day when I first got this. This is Metroid Prime, a complete reinvention of the series from the 2D side-scrolling Super Metroid, but this is fantastic. Metacritic gave this a score of 97. This one has a price tag of only $7. It's a first-person action-adventure game. It follows Samus as you battle space pirates. The atmosphere is absolutely amazing. Same with the music. At $7, this is one of the cheapest GameCube games that you can ever buy, and it's absolutely a wonderful experience. So these total $100, $40 for the console, 2 controllers, the cords, and a memory card, $20 for Luigi's Mansion. We have $17 for Animal Crossing, $8 each for Resident Evil 4 and Super Monkey Ball, and $7 for Metroid Prime. That is my first entry into the GameCube Buyer's Guide for $100. Be sure to stay tuned for a part 2 that's actually going to become in 1 week from now. On Wednesday, I will post the second part of this series. Thank you so much for watching. Again, be sure to enter the giveaway for Twilight Princess by subscribing, and please comment below what games would you get with your $100 if you were doing your own buyer's guide for the Nintendo GameCube. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to fill that like bucket, follow me on all the social media links in the description below the video, and remember, as always, go collect them all and keep smiling while gaming. Thanks for watching, everyone.